Welcome back for a new best to worst list. And this time, we are looking at, in my opinion, the weakest to the strongest PlayStation. Now keep in mind this is excluding the PS5 because, well, it's going to be a while before I get my hands on that, and I'm going to wait for prices to drop and everything. So with that said, these are 6 total we have to rank. So we have 2 handhelds and 4 consoles. Enjoy the music in the background I chose. I chose Ryu Hayabusa's theme from Dead or Alive 4, or Dead or Alive 2, and Dead or Alive Dimensions. So coming at number 6 is something that has gone down in rank over time, unfortunately, though I still love it, don't get me wrong. Released in 2005 originally. Coming in 6th place of the 6 is the PlayStation Portable, or rather PSP. PSP comes in last place. At one time, it would have been probably in my top 3 back several years ago, but as time has progressed, it has dropped in rank for me personally, though I think still it's a great solid handheld. I would probably have it currently ranked as my 4th favorite handheld of all time. At one time it was number 1. But it's because only really specific games get me to come back to it. Predominantly Third Birthday, Birth by Sleep, Final Mix, as well as a few other greats on it, like the classic early Monster Hunter games, which are very hard. Some great fun games like, well, Tekken Dark Resurrection, Street Fighter 3 or Alpha 3 Max, and many others. Coming in at number 5 is Once Upon a Time was my least favorite, but it's gone up a spot. Released in 2000 originally, that is the best-selling console of all time, but for me, it comes in 5th place, and that is the PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 2 predominantly has special place for me personally, more for the survival horror games, though also some many great fighting games. Predominantly, when I think of the PS2, I usually think of the first couple of Kingdom Hearts games, as well as like Tekken Tag, Tekken 4, Tekken 5, Soul Calibur 3 specifically, and many others. But predominantly I think of horror games when I think of the PS2. I think of games like Resident Evil, games such as, well, Fatal Frame, Siren, or of course, Silent Hill. Coming in at number 4, released in 2006, this has gone up over time. Coming in 4th place for me personally is the PS3. The PlayStation 3, I really think, is somewhat undervalued, and that's good because it means this is a good time to start collecting. And the PS3 is a great console to collect for. I've enjoyed collecting for it, and the fact it's one of the cheaper consoles to collect for as well. I would put it probably in the same range as the 360 as a great console to collect for, because the prices are good and there's many great games on the console, many great exclusives that I can't recommend highly enough, many great action games. That is where the PS3 excels, that and many great fighting games, though Sony has always been pretty good about the fighting games. Coming in at number 3, my 3rd favorite is currently released in 2011. In 3rd place is the PlayStation Vita. Comes in 3rd place. Yeah, the PS Vita has gone up over time because the more games I've gotten to play, plus the technology in the Vita is far more advanced than anything traditional handheld that Nintendo has made. Like, even though I love the 3DS quite a bit, for me, the Vita is my number 1 favorite handheld of all time. It's gone back and forth with the DS/3DS, back and forth, but yeah, currently I would have Vita number 1 favorite handheld. And the Vita is a great PlayStation console to collect for. Many great Gundam games, great fighting games, some great exclusives like Gravity Rush, Now you can get remastered, but I recommend playing it on the Vita with the sensors. And of course, can't forget one of the most important games for the handheld, and that is a little game called Uncharted Golden Abyss. Love it. Love it with quite a passion. I think there's many great games. Skullgirls is another great game to play on it. And the Ninja Gaiden games play really well on them, surprisingly. But for me, overall, the Vita comes in third place. Love it, always will. Coming in at number 2, released in 2013. Coming in second place is the PlayStation 4. PS4 is probably my favorite console to collect for, at least because the variety and price range being so good right now. I mean, if you look in the background right here, like this, all the way down to this one row here, is PS4. So that should say how much I actually enjoy collecting for it. But as time goes on, I continue enjoying collecting for many different consoles. But the PS4 is just one of the most fun. It's a great one for indie gamers, along with the Vita. Now, of course, I think that it's very easy to figure out my number one favorite of all time is a console that's gone back and forth between with the Dreamcast for being my favorite console in general of all time. Of course, number one, released originally in 1994, was of course the PSX or PS1. PS1 will always be, it was my first PlayStation. It's what got me into the PlayStation brand. I've always been a big Sony fan. And I've always loved the original PlayStation. I mean, for Tekken 2, Tekken 3, even though it doesn't play great, Battle Ring of Toshinden, Guilty Pleasure. Also, Darkstalkers 3, The Bloody Roar 1 and 2. Many great fighting games on the console. And you have great platformers too, like the Crash Bandicoot games, the Spyro games, Tomba, which is underrated in my opinion. Also, Final Fantasy Anthology, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, Final Fantasy 9. Yeah, there's many great games, whether you're an RPG/JRPG fan, if you're a platformer fan, if you're a fighting game fan, if you're a sports fan, you have Gran Turismo, you have Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit, many other greats, back when people actually liked EA. Also, you had the Tony Hawk games from Activision, many others, some great Spider-Man games as well on the console. You had Lunar, which is great JRPGs. Great horror games, Silent Hill 1, Nightmare Creatures, how about Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Didn't care much for the first-person shooter though, Resident Evil Survivor. Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid VR Missions, criminally underrated game in my opinion. You had Rayman. I mean, it's insane the amount of solid, amazing games you had for the PS1. I will always love the PlayStation 1, always will. Always probably be a PlayStation fan in general, along with always being a Sega fan. But with that said, everyone stay safe out there. Hopefully you enjoyed this list. Tell me, in your personal opinion, where would you have them in your own personal ranks of best to worst? Which is your personal favorite PlayStation of all time? Which is your least favorite? What is your personal favorite title for your favorite PlayStation or genre? But with that said, I'll see y'all next time. Stay safe. See you again, same time, same YouTube channel.